Hi, this is Alan from Alpus Group. I'm going to talk to you today about comparing procurement approaches for construction projects. That's traditional design and build and construction management are the three approaches. So basically, when procuring construction projects, it involves critical decisions that can significantly impact the project's outcomes, cost, timeline, and quality. So there are three common approaches that are widely used in the construction industry. The traditional approach, design and build and construction management. And each approach comes with its own set of merits and demerits, or advantages and disadvantages. So I'm just going to explore with you the relative advantages and disadvantages of each approach. So if we start off with the traditional procurement method, so what this involves is the client usually appoints a design team, an architect, a structural engineer, possibly a civil engineer, mechanical and electrical engineers, and they prepare the drawings, coordinate these designs amongst themselves, develop the design to a certain stage at which a tender is secured from competing main contractors. So essentially, the ideal situation is where all the details are actually completed and approved. So not only the planning approval is gained, but also the building control approval, and then there's no chance or little chance that there are going to be any required changes to the construction details or implementation details. So what usually happens is there's usually time pressure, and the design usually goes out to bid when it's not complete, and usually there's an aspiration to complete the design during the tender period so that the working drawings are available upon appointment of the contractor. Sometimes that doesn't actually happen, and the drawings are delayed further, and this can sometimes lead to problems because then you've got a tender based on one set of tender drawings which are incomplete, and then you've got a set of implementation drawings that are more detailed and require some changes. So there are mechanisms under the contract to deal with the changes, variation orders, and so on, but traditionally there have been delays with this sort of procurement method, whereby the delay in completion of the designs has impacted the contractor, which leads the contractor to make claims against the client, and the client is obviously not very happy about these claims. So there has evolved another approach, which is design and build procurement, where you put all of the detailed design responsibility with the main contractor. So essentially what happens is that the client and his architect, or sometimes the design team as well, they'll prepare a preliminary design which reflects what the client wants, but they won't develop the design. They may actually seek the planning permission, because that's an activity that can go on while the tendering for design and build is in process. But essentially, all the design development and the detail design is with the contractor, who complies with a set of employer's requirements, which are basically the preliminary design and the specification and the functional specification of what the client wants. So as long as you don't change the requirements, this is a good method of procurement, because essentially you've got an early tender period based on preliminary information. The contractor has the opportunity to show his expertise and propose alternative methods or alternative materials that can still comply with the employer's requirements, but they may be cheaper. So the contractor has a competitive opportunity to secure the job on the basis of his expertise for method or materials. So essentially, design and build can be good, provided that you know exactly what you want and you don't want to vary the contract. If you do get variations with design and build, it is possible, and sometimes they can cause problems, but in theory, according to the contract, you should be able to instruct variations and have them evaluated by the contractor and your quantity surveyor to work on your side for the valuation. And this is also a good approach to contract procurement, design and build, because all the responsibility is with the contractor. He accepts the basis of the contract, which is usually an amended contractor's proposal. So the employer issues his employer's requirements, the contractor responds with contractor's proposals, there's some negotiation, and then the revised or negotiated contractor's proposals are usually the basis of the contract. So it's a good system. The third way of procuring contracts is using a construction management approach, where the client will appoint a construction manager to manage his designers and his trade contractors. There isn't a main contractor as such. There are a series of trade contractors who might deal with packages of work. So, for example, the foundation or the piling contract might be one trade package. The frame for the building could be another trade package. The envelope could be another, or you could combine the frame and the envelope as one package. And then the fit out of the building could be another package, or it could be broken down further into different packages. And essentially the construction manager manages the interfaces between these trade contracts. And so because there isn't a main contractor, there's arguably a saving on the cost of carrying the work out. So it becomes a more complex arrangement, but this is another equally acceptable arrangement. So in certain circumstances, you may want to go with either the traditional method of procurement, where the client appoints the design team and the design team prepare the design, and then the contractor implements the design with none or very little design responsibility. He's only responsible for shop drawings preparation. Or the second process, whereby you appoint a design and build contractor on the basis of a set of employer's requirements. That's an equally good system, provided you've got certainty about the scope of works and the objective of what you want from your project, and it's well defined in the employer's requirements. Or thirdly, you may choose, particularly if you're unsure what the outcome is going to be, you may want to appoint a construction manager. So to give you an example where you might want to appoint a construction manager would be if you've got a complex site which involves some demolition and advanced work such as utility diversions, and you want a construction manager to manage this work while the planning application is being resolved, which may be a complicated planning application. And so you're not sure of the outcome of the planning application, so you want this flexibility. So you want to engage somebody to manage construction and start the demolition, start the diversion works, but you don't want to appoint a main contractor to do that, because you're not sure what your actual outcome is going to be. You're not sure what the planning approval is going to be for the other side. So that these three different procurement methods are appropriate in different circumstances. So if you decide that you have a project and you're unsure which procurement method is appropriate, then call me, that's Alan at Alpus Group, on 07539 141257 or 0333 224 1257. You can schedule a call with me at calendly.com/AlanJE, or you can drop me an email at alan@alpusgroup.com. That's all for now. Cheers.